chosen ones. There's a divine truth unfolding around you, one that's impossible to hide. People are whispering your name in rooms you've never even entered, and eyes you don't recognize are quietly observing your every move. But this isn't coincidence or paranoia. It's spiritual awareness. When you carry divine energy, your presence becomes impossible to ignore. Have you noticed how lately people seem strangely alert when you enter a space? They can't quite explain it, but your calm disrupts their chaos. Your light exposes their darkness, and your peace confuses their inner turmoil. What you're experiencing is the effect of spiritual magnetism, the law that light attracts attention, whether admiration or resistance. Science even supports this phenomenon in subtle ways. Studies in social psychology show that human energy and emotional states are contagious. Your calm confidence literally shifts the frequency of a room. People subconsciously pick up on non-verbal energy, micro-expressions, and heart coherence. Spiritually, this aligns with Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Light by nature draws eyes. The brighter it shines, the harder it is for darkness to ignore it. Think of Leah from the Bible, a woman overlooked, even mocked. Her story mirrors the hidden seasons many chosen ones endure. But when her divine elevation came, those who once dismissed her couldn't look away. She didn't change her essence. She simply stepped into a divine frequency. Her humility became her crown. Her quietness turned into spiritual authority. That same energy flows through you now. You haven't become arrogant or loud. You've simply aligned with your purpose. And purpose carries power that cannot be faked. Every chosen one carries what psychologists might call a differentiated self, an inner clarity that makes others uncomfortable because it mirrors what they lack. You're no longer reacting, you're radiating. This confuses those who thrive on chaos. Some will admire you, others will envy you, and a few will even oppose you. But all will recognize that something divine is operating through you. So when you feel those stares, those sudden shifts in people's behavior, remember, it's not them watching you, it's the universe confirming you. You are a walking testimony, a reminder that divine purpose can't be hidden or silenced. Stay grounded, stay faithful, and keep your armor of light on. Because your spiritual glow-up is not just seen, it's felt, and it's awakening something powerful everywhere you go. Point 1. Your energy has shifted to a higher frequency. You're vibrating differently, chosen one. Something about your presence has shifted, subtly, yet profoundly. It's not just your mindset or attitude, it's your frequency. When your energy begins to align with divine truth, it radiates beyond the surface. You might not even notice it at first, but people around you do. They feel it in your silence, in your gaze, and in the way you carry yourself. Even those who claim no belief in energy or spirituality will feel a strange mixture of calm and discomfort around you. That's because spiritual energy is not a concept. It's a vibration, and vibration is science. Everything in the universe oscillates at a frequency from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy. And you, chosen one, have simply begun vibrating on a higher one. As your vibration rises, you naturally outgrow the energies of gossip, fear, and ego. It's not that you're trying to be better than anyone else. You just can't match the lower frequencies anymore. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're on a new frequency, you can no longer hear the static from the old channel. You've tuned into something purer, something divine. That's why chaos doesn't reach you the same way anymore. When people argue, you feel detached. When someone tries to provoke you, you respond with calm instead of combat. That's not weakness, it's mastery. You've learned that real strength isn't loud, it's composed. It's the stillness that makes others question how you're not shaken by what breaks them. This calm you carry, that unbothered aura, is your spiritual power disguised as peace. It's the same energy monks cultivate through decades of meditation. It's the energy Jesus carried when he walked into storms and the sea obeyed. It's the serenity of someone who knows that they are protected, guided, and watched over. People sense this, even if they can't explain it. They might call you weird, cold, or distant, but that's only because they can't interpret what they feel. When light enters a dark room, it exposes what's been hiding there. Some people will be drawn to your light, others will flinch from it. But that's not your burden to carry, it's simply the law of energy in motion. Science confirms this too. Studies in quantum physics show that everything is made of energy and that observation alone can influence how particles behave. That means your consciousness, your awareness, has the power to alter your environment. When your thoughts and emotions become centered in divine truth, your very presence begins to shift the energy of any room you enter. Some will feel peace around you, others will feel triggered, not because you've done anything, but because your vibration mirrors what's unresolved within them. This is why, as you ascend, solitude becomes sacred. You'll crave peace more than company. You'll start choosing silence over validation, purpose over popularity, and authenticity over approval. You no longer chase energy, you attract it. You no longer explain yourself, you embody the message. You've learned that your energy speaks louder than your words ever could. And as your light grows, so does your responsibility. Because being chosen isn't about superiority. It's about service. It's about carrying divine truth in a world addicted to illusions. So when people don't understand you, let them. When they whisper, let them. Your calm is confusing to those still trapped in chaos. Your detachment feels cold to those who depend on drama. But you know the truth. Peace is not the absence of conflict. It's the mastery of self within it. Keep vibrating higher, chosen one. You weren't meant to blend in with the noise. You were meant to harmonize with the divine. Point 2, your light exposes hidden darkness. You don't even need to speak. Your presence alone convicts the energy around you. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. When you've gone through enough spiritual refinement, your aura becomes a silent sermon, one that exposes, without effort, what's false around you. Fake friends can't pretend anymore, liars get nervous, and manipulators suddenly forget their scripts. You walk into a room and the energy shifts, not because you demanded it, but because your very frequency demands truth. The chosen ones don't have to talk much, their spirit speaks for them. See, when you've been through isolation, heartbreak, betrayal, and deep transformation, your energy field becomes cleaned out. You vibrate differently. Science even backs this up. Human beings emit measurable electromagnetic fields through the heart and brain. The HeartMath Institute found that the heart's electromagnetic field can be detected several feet away from the body and actually influences the emotions and nervous systems of people nearby. That means your peace, your integrity, and your spiritual growth literally radiate outward. When you've been purged by truth, you become truth. And anything that's false can't stand too close without shaking. That's why people start acting strange around you. Some can't make eye contact, others start talking too much, and some just go quiet. You might have thought it was something you said, but it wasn't your words, it was your vibration. Their spirit recognizes something ancient and holy in you, something they can't manipulate. You've stepped into an energy that mirrors the unseen, and mirrors don't lie. The presence of a chosen one reveals what's been hidden. Jealousy, deception, or even admiration. Whatever was in them, good or bad, starts surfacing in your light. You've probably noticed how some people feel instantly comfortable around you, like they can finally breathe after holding their breath too long. That's because your energy carries safety. It's purified by struggle, compassion, and divine awareness. But on the flip side, others feel exposed. They sense that your silence isn't ignorance, it's discernment. Your quietness isn't weakness, it's control. You can't fake purity, and you can't fake connection with God. That's what unsettles them. Because while they've been building masks, you've been building depth. Spiritual energy is powerful. Every human interaction is an exchange of frequency, not just words. When you've done inner healing, faced your shadows, forgiven people, released your bitterness, you become a high-frequency being. The Bible says, "Let your light so shine before men." And that's not just poetic, it's energetic. Light literally displaces darkness. So when you enter a space, your aura acts like a spiritual detector, revealing what's off balance. That's why people who carry guilt or envy often can't sit still around you. Their energy is incompatible with your light. But here's the part most people miss. It's not your job to dim that light to make others comfortable. The discomfort others feel around you is the first step in their awakening. Some of them will resist it, others will reflect on it. Either way, your authenticity serves a divine purpose. The truth doesn't need defense, it just is. You've reached a point where your existence alone becomes a message. I am aligned, I am awake, and I am free. So yes, chosen one, you don't need to speak. You don't need to prove, explain, or justify your energy. Your presence alone convicts, clarifies, and cleanses the air. Keep walking in that truth, because your silence carries more honesty than most people's entire conversations. And your light reminds the world that God still works through those who dare to be real. Point 3. They're spiritually aware of your anointing. Even those who don't believe in God can sense something divine about you. They may not understand it, and they may not have the language for it, but they feel it deep in their bones. There's a certain vibration that follows you, a kind of invisible frequency that makes the air shift when you walk into a room. That's not coincidence, that's your divine covering. You see, when you're one of the chosen, your energy doesn't just exist in a space, it transforms it. People might call it good vibes or magnetic aura. But what they're actually picking up on is the presence of something far beyond the physical. You've got angels assigned to your path, and even those disconnected from the spiritual realm can subconsciously sense their presence. Science has shown that the human body emits an electromagnetic field that can be measured several feet away. It's not just spiritual talk, it's physics. Your heart alone produces the strongest electromagnetic field in the human body. And when you are aligned with divine purpose, that frequency becomes stable, strong, and healing. So when you walk into a space, the energy doesn't just notice you, it reorganizes itself around your vibration. People may suddenly feel calmer, more alert, or even uncomfortable, depending on what's inside them. That's divine protection in motion. Darkness cannot sit comfortably in light, and your presence exposes what's been hidden. That's why you'll often find that some people either instantly love you or inexplicably resent you. You haven't said a word, yet their spirit reacts. It's not personal, it's spiritual. The light in you activates everything around you. Those who are at peace within themselves will recognize it as warmth, while those still fighting their own demons will perceive it as a threat. That's why chosen ones are often misunderstood, avoided, or even envied, not because they've done anything wrong, but because their spiritual signature reminds others of what they've forgotten within themselves. You carry what many spiritual teachers refer to as high-frequency energy, a resonance that vibrates with authenticity, compassion, and divine wisdom. When you operate from that space, your energy field emits coherence, a balanced rhythm that brings harmony wherever you go. This is why children and animals are naturally drawn to you. They feel that peace before words ever enter the picture. And it's also why chaos seems to calm when you pray, speak, or even stand silently in the midst of confusion. Your spirit becomes a tuning fork that brings order to spiritual dissonance. It's important to understand. This glow you carry isn't something you can fake. It's not confidence, charm, or personality. It's the result of endurance through spiritual warfare, heartbreak, and silent growth. Every trial you've faced has polished your light, stripping away the false layers until only truth remained. That truth radiates now, and it's what others sense without knowing why. You don't have to announce that you're chosen. Your energy speaks that language fluently. And the divine protection that surrounds you, it's not superstition. Throughout history, prophets, saints, and enlightened souls have been described as glowing or radiant. In the Bible, Moses' face shone after encountering God. In Eastern traditions, sages are often depicted with halos or light around their heads, symbolic of that same spiritual frequency. It's the mark of divine interaction, the residue of higher energy that leaves traces on those who dwell close to the source. So yes, even the skeptic feels something shift around you. They might not call it God, angels, or energy. Maybe they'll just say, "You've got a good aura." But what they're really sensing is the heavenly assignment that walks with you. The atmosphere bows when a chosen one steps in, because spiritual authority is not claimed, it's carried. And when you carry divine purpose, every room you enter becomes a temple. Every breath you take becomes a prayer, and every step you take reminds the universe that the light still wins. Point 4, you're walking in purpose, not performance. You stop trying to impress people, and that, chosen one, is when your true power began to bloom. It's almost ironic, isn't it? The moment you stopped chasing approval was the same moment everyone started paying attention. That's because authentic energy is rare in a world built on performance. Most people wear masks to fit in, polishing their outer image like it's currency, hoping someone will notice. But when you dropped the act, when you decided your peace was more valuable than popularity, something shifted in your aura. You became magnetic, not because you wanted to be seen, but because you finally saw yourself. Psychologically, this is called authentic confidence. It's the opposite of the fragile ego that craves validation. When you no longer depend on the applause of others, your energy vibrates differently. People can sense it, even if they can't explain it. Science has shown that our brains pick up on non-verbal cues faster than words. We can feel authenticity through someone's tone, posture, and energy. That's why your quiet presence now feels more powerful than any loud performance. You radiate calm certainty, and it unsettles those who still measure their worth by how many eyes are watching them. See, when you were trying to impress others, your energy was scattered outward. You were constantly editing yourself, adjusting your truth to fit into someone else's comfort zone. But now, your energy has turned inward and upward. You've anchored into your purpose, and that gives you a quiet confidence that doesn't need validation to survive. It's not arrogance, it's alignment, and alignment is unshakable. People who depend on attention can't understand that kind of strength. Their identity is built on external echoes, how many likes, how many compliments, and how much approval they can collect. They're addicted to validation like it's oxygen. So when they meet someone like you, someone who breathes purpose instead of praise, it triggers them. You're a walking contradiction to everything they were taught. You prove that you don't need to perform to be powerful, and that truth alone disrupts their entire belief system. There's something profoundly spiritual about reaching this level of detachment. The ancient Stoics called it apatheia, a state of inner freedom from emotional disturbance. In modern terms, it's emotional independence, the ability to remain centered no matter who applauds or criticizes you. And that's what makes you magnetic. You've detached from the illusion that your worth depends on external validation. And by doing so, you've connected with something eternal, the higher self, the divine essence within. When people see that, they're drawn to it instinctively. They might not even like you, but they feel you. Your energy carries weight. You don't chase, you attract. Not because you're trying to, but because you've become a mirror of truth in a world full of distortion. You remind others of what they've lost: authenticity, self-respect, and peace of mind. Some admire it, others envy it, but everyone notices it. And here's the paradox. When you stop seeking validation, the universe starts validating you in deeper ways. Doors open, opportunities flow, relationships become more meaningful because they're built on resonance, not pretense. You start attracting people who see you, not the version you project, but the soul you really are. That's divine alignment at work. You're no longer performing for the crowd. You're walking in purpose, guided by something far greater than human approval. So when they ask how you shine without seeking applause, smile. Let them wonder. Because your glow doesn't come from attention, it comes from intention. You've mastered one of the greatest spiritual lessons of all. The moment you stop chasing validation is the moment you become the validation. That's what makes you magnetic, chosen one. You are no longer trying to impress the world. You're here to inspire it. Point 5. God revealed your enemies without you lifting a finger. Recently, you might have noticed something strange happening around you. Masks are falling. People who once smiled in your face suddenly show you sides of themselves you never imagined. Friends grow distant. Partners reveal selfish motives. And family members begin to act like strangers. And you might be wondering, why now? Why are everything and everyone suddenly showing their true colors? But chosen one, this isn't chaos. This is divine exposure. It's God's way of cleaning your path, removing the counterfeits before your next elevation. You see, spiritual alignment isn't just about feeling closer to God. It's about walking in His truth. And truth has a funny way of shaking loose everything that's false. The closer you move toward your purpose, the brighter your spiritual light becomes. And what does light do? It exposes. It reveals what was hiding in the dark. When you begin to vibrate at a higher frequency, walking in faith, peace, and authenticity, those who thrive in deception can't stay comfortable around you. Your spirit becomes a mirror. It reflects their hidden intentions, their jealousy, their double lives, and their manipulation. And soon enough, the masks they wore so effortlessly begin to crack under the weight of your light. It's not a coincidence that this tends to happen right before your breakthroughs. That's how God works. He purges your surroundings to protect your promise. Think about it like this. You can't carry dead weight up a mountain. The air gets thinner the higher you climb, and not everyone can breathe at that altitude. Some people were never meant to go with you into your next chapter, and divine exposure is how God ensures they don't. The moment you begin stepping into your higher calling, the truth about people around you starts surfacing. Suddenly, the one who claimed to support you grows quiet when you succeed. The one who always needed you disappears when you need them. The friend who prayed for your growth starts competing with it. It's not betrayal, it's revelation. Spiritually speaking, this happens because your energy field changes when your alignment deepens. According to both biblical wisdom and modern energy studies, everything in creation vibrates at a frequency. When your vibration rises through prayer, meditation, forgiveness, or purpose-driven living, those operating at lower frequencies naturally fall away. Just like oil and water, your spirit and their intentions can no longer mix. The energy of deceit cannot survive in the atmosphere of divine truth. Even neuroscience supports this. The brain mirrors energy. It picks up emotional cues and responds to authenticity or deception. When your consciousness expands through spiritual growth, your brain literally rewires to detect what's real and what's not. That's why you start feeling something is off long before it's visible. It's not paranoia, it's discernment, sharpened by divine connection. But here's the beautiful twist. Exposure isn't punishment, it's protection. You didn't lose friends, you lost illusions, you didn't fall out with people, you fell out of alignment with their energy. God allows the truth to unfold so you can see who deserves to stand beside you when the promise manifests. Because when He blesses you, He doesn't want your circle contaminated with envy and hidden agendas. He wants peace around you, purity, loyalty. So, when the masks fall, don't panic, don't chase, don't question your worth. Instead, recognize it as a sacred moment of clarity, a divine audit of your life. The universe, or rather God's design, has a way of pulling back curtains right before transformation. This season isn't about loss, it's about refinement. What's being removed isn't rejection, it's redirection. The more aligned you become with your Creator, the more transparent your surroundings will appear. Truth becomes your shield, and discernment becomes your compass. So, if people are revealing who they truly are, let them. Sit back, observe, and thank God for showing you in private what would have destroyed you in public. Because this isn't the end of something, it's the sacred beginning of something far more authentic. You're not losing people, you're gaining clarity. You're not walking alone, you're walking with God. And when you walk with Him, everything false falls away, every time. Point 6, you've become a mirror of conviction. When you live in truth, you don't have to announce it. The air around you changes. Your presence alone unsettles falsehoods. Because truth has a vibration that exposes everything that isn't real. You can walk into a room quietly, say nothing, and yet people will start to fidget, over-explain, or suddenly grow distant. It's not because you did anything wrong, it's because your energy holds up a mirror they didn't ask for. When you live in truth, you unintentionally make others face their own lies. And that can be terrifying for those still hiding behind masks. See, truth isn't loud, it's alive. It's like sunlight creeping into a dark room, showing the dust no one wanted to see. When you walk in truth, you carry that light. And people who have spent years building illusions, fake happiness, performative kindness, false confidence, can feel that exposure. Their spirit knows it's being seen, even if their ego denies it. That's why some people suddenly become defensive around you or find reasons to dislike you. It's not that they hate you. They hate what your light reminds them of, the lies they told themselves to survive. Psychologists call this projection. It's a defense mechanism where people attribute their own hidden traits, insecurities, or guilt to someone else. Spiritually speaking, it's the ego's way of avoiding growth. Instead of asking, why does this person's authenticity make me uncomfortable? They say, who do they think they are? Your presence awakens their conscience, and rather than heal, they deflect. It's easier to attack the mirror than to look into it. Throughout history, truth-tellers have always been misunderstood. Think about it. Socrates was executed for questioning accepted norms. Jesus was crucified for speaking divine truth. And countless prophets, philosophers and mystics were silenced for revealing uncomfortable realities. The pattern is ancient. Society resists those who refuse to conform to illusions. The chosen ones throughout time have always been rejected first and respected later. Living in truth has never been convenient. It's been revolutionary. But here's what most don't realize. Your light doesn't just expose darkness, it heals it, though healing often begins with discomfort. When you live authentically, you challenge others to rise to that same frequency. You don't have to preach or convince anyone. Your calmness, your refusal to engage in drama, and your grounded confidence, it all speaks volumes. You remind people that peace is possible, but they must surrender their false identities to have it. For those still attached to their masks, that feels like death. There's a psychological truth behind this too. The human brain craves consistency between belief and behavior, a concept known as cognitive dissonance. When someone encounters you, someone who embodies integrity while they live in pretense, it creates internal tension. Their mind screams, something's off. But instead of correcting themselves, they often label you as the problem. That's why living in truth can feel lonely at times. You become the walking contradiction to their comfort zone. Yet, this loneliness is sacred. It's the price of authenticity. Chosen ones are not meant to blend in. They're meant to awaken. And awakening is not always pretty. Sometimes it looks like being excluded from circles you once belonged to or misunderstood by people you once loved. But here's the divine irony. The very people who resent your light are also drawn to it. They watch you, study you, and talk about you, and deep down they want the freedom you carry. Your job isn't to dim yourself to make others comfortable. Your job is to keep living in truth until your very existence becomes a sermon. The ones who can't handle your light today may one day thank you for not shrinking. Living in truth is spiritual warfare against deception, and your light is both the weapon and the cure. Keep shining, not to prove anything, but because truth, when embodied, changes everything. So remember, chosen one, when people project their unhealed wounds onto you, don't take it personally. It's never about you. It's about the part of them that still fears exposure. Stand tall, stay gentle, and let your truth do what it was always meant to do. Illuminate. Point 7. Your divine assignment is active. Everything you've endured wasn't random, it was divine preparation. Every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer, and every closed door was not a sign of rejection, but redirection. Spiritually and psychologically, humans grow most in adversity. Neuroscience even shows that resilience is built through neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself after emotional pain or loss. In spiritual terms, that rewiring is transformation, God reshaping you to carry a heavier anointing. The nights you cried weren't wasted. They were washing away what could not follow you into your destiny. The isolation you felt wasn't punishment. It was consecration. Like a diamond buried deep in the earth, pressure and time were needed before your light could reflect its true brilliance. God needed you hidden, not forgotten, because hidden seasons are where humility is born and strength is tested. Loneliness purified your motives. Silence tuned your soul to the frequency of divine instruction. Now that quiet refining has ended. The veil has lifted, and your presence carries an unexplainable gravity. People sense it without knowing why, because energy doesn't lie. Spiritually awakened souls radiate electromagnetic frequencies measurable by science. Your field literally expands when you operate from love and purpose. That's why others feel your peace before you speak. It's not arrogance, it's divine evidence. You've stepped into the vibration of purpose, where even your stillness holds power. The same world that once ignored you now pauses in your presence, not realizing the glow they admire was born from years of unseen battles. Every scar, every prayer, every lonely night became your armor. This season of visibility isn't about fame, it's about function. The light in you now serves as a lighthouse for others still lost in the storm. You don't need to prove yourself. Your energy already does. Remember, light doesn't chase attention, it simply shines, and darkness responds. You are living proof that purpose emerges from pain, that resilience can be holy, and that silence can preach louder than words. So walk boldly, chosen one. The world's eyes upon you are not judgment. They are witnesses to your transformation. Guard your peace, speak only when led, and let your presence remind others that God still works through the broken, the patient, and the faithful. You are no longer hidden because your time of revelation has arrived. The universe isn't testing you anymore, it's applauding your becoming. When you carry light, darkness takes notice.